what happened to me to think that I could put that hand in here? Lately, I haven't been feeling very good about my art. I've been in a little bit of a slump, a little bit of a what am I good for? I'm a bad artist. And just feeling in general like my confidence is pretty low. And honestly, some of it is, you know, comparing myself to others. I saw a wicked portfolio from someone I went to school with, and it is so awesome. And then I just feel like behind. Yeah, so I've been a little down in the dumps, and I gotta get my spirits back up. And what better way to see where I am now than to see where I came from? So I'm gonna be going through my very first portfolio that got me my very first job back in 2018. That was the year I graduated from animation school. There's no better way to make yourself happy than to bully someone. So I'm gonna bully my 22-year-old self. I don't know how old I was back then. Let's see what advice I'd give to myself if I were to critique my portfolio back then to me now. This is the portfolio that I graduated with. Character design and visual development. Well, I ended up being a character designer. I still think I have visual development in my current portfolio, but I don't think I got much of that in there. This is a nice splash page. I always tell people to start with a splash page because it's so much fun. It tells you your name, you know, your email, and you know what you do. For this piece right here, I was so proud of this piece because this won me my first like character design quarterly challenge. Like there's a Facebook group, and I won 1 month with this entry. I think it's really cool, although there's some parts like there's no back to this skirt like there is here. Back then, I was really into really graphic and flat designs, and I still am, but I have a little bit more volume to them. Like right here, I would not do this these days. Like to have barely anything holding this is crazy. I'd have a little bit more of an entry point and a little bit showing like a little bit more weight to these pieces that are coming out. And we're gonna be seeing a lot of hands like this. A lot of this portfolio is like visual development for my short film that I graduated with, which is cool and dandy because I was also wanting to be kind of a visual development artist. So I'm gonna let these pass. I'm gonna let these slide for now. When I was making this portfolio, that I had no idea what to put in other than the screenshots of the film. I put in a different angle, which I thought was a hit, that I had 2 angles to go off of. But all this stuff over here, I was really reaching for straws out here. These 2 moments are the color script moments, which, yeah, I guess that's good to put in. Here is like a sketch idea, and here's the 3D model. Although, I don't know how I learned 3D and then forgot it in the past 5 years. If you asked me to do that today, I would not be able to do anything with 3D. I remember I barely knew how to draw men at this point, and I'm a little disappointed in these characters. They're fun, they're stylized, but this one is very much the guy from Ocean's 11. What's his name? Saul? This is like a Russian mobster, and this is like an Englishman, like a Bond villain. I thought that was fun. I guess this is already less of a roast and more of explaining what I thought back then. Let's see if I can destroy this as I go on. But before we continue, let's hear a word from our sponsor. Paperlike 2.1 is the top tier of screen protectors, especially if you're an artist. Gone are the days of your screen protector feeling sticky and gummy and muddying your picture. It's easy to get the perfect application of the screen protector by following their guidelines. Once you get her going, Paperlike 2.1 itself feels buttery smooth. I think what makes it great is that you can't even notice it's there. If you want to get into the science of it, the secret sauce, if you will, Paperlike 2.1 has nanodots layer that is spread more evenly across the surface of the screen protector to minimize refractions. That's what makes the Paperlike feel like paper. And the super transparency of the protector allows artists like us to see what's on screen without anything getting in the way. Pause for ASMR. Ugh, doesn't it sound so good? So get your own Paperlike 2.1 through the link in my description. Let's get back to the roast. The color script I had in, I thought was a lot of fun. I really liked it at the time, but I still like this color script. This is my favorite panel. I think I really like the harsh whites. That's really neat. Okay, now we're getting into some juicy stuff. My first character moment. A lot of the proportions are pretty off, and I never really draw the same thing twice. Even from her side view to a front view is really off. I would not draw that side view this intense. Maybe I'd have it in more. I think that would make a little bit more sense for her character. And the hand sizes keep changing. This hand is different than this hand. This hand is so much bigger than the other hands that I have. And I'm pretty sure the leg sizes also vary. Overall, valiant attempt. I also think that I'm missing a little bit of detail, and I know it's It's a simple character, but I could have showed a little bit of pizzazz in maybe the line weight. Like if her eyelids on top were a little bit even darker, that would show detail to this character. Even having line weight variation where some elements were darker than others. And I see that I have like this black shadow under her chin, but I don't have that anywhere else. I have it like behind this shirt right here, but why didn't I have it like other places to show that consistency of shadow treatment? I think that would have made her even, you know, a little bit more interesting. And because it's so flat and graphic, I could have definitely pushed these poses more. She's so cartoony and I just didn't push these elements enough. I think even just the slightest amount of pushing could have made her a lot more interesting. Like what if I played with the acting more in a sense that instead of her just being mad, she's like holding up some guy by the shirt collar and he's terrified. That would have showed so much more of the intensity of her anger rather than showing just something like this. Ooh, and no expressions for the other character. This turnaround is fine. There's a lot of inconsistencies. Her chest here is definitely not the same chest that I'd have here. The characters were so flat that I think that their legs are actually missing so much. Like they got no ass. And I really like this look of a straight and then a curve for the leg. Like what if there was, just a little bit of a bend to show the difference in the knee on the other side? That would have given so much more structure and it could have still been simple. These are crazy hands. I can't believe I drew hands like this. Looks like I didn't even try with these feet. They're just so flat and it doesn't look like it works in the perspective at all. It looks like this foot is in front of this foot. But you know, this is the best turn I could do at the time. Ah yes, finally, the character exploration page. I have so many opinions on character exploration pages now. First thing, I don't need the silhouette. It's literally the same silhouette in every single drawing. Why would I waste the space? Like these ones show me the most out of all of the sketches because their poses are slightly different. So I don't think this is a very strong character exploration. Maybe it's more of a costume exploration. I wish the concepts also showed their personalities. Instead of this pose right here, I would have something like this pose to show, first of all, versatility, that I can draw poses, and second of all, it would show a different angle of the concept, and I would be showing her personality. So if I would tell anything to my old self, I would say redraw these character explorations in slight different poses. I don't know if this is even like a page that was worth putting in. This was my favorite moment of my film. It showed the characters in an environment. If I was redoing it today, maybe I'd have this as my splash page, and right here I'd have my name and my email, character design, stuff like that. We have so few pages to show. This one shouldn't take so much space, I think. I guess I was trying to show as much stuff as I had from this film. You know, when you're graduating from school, you just got nothing to show in your portfolio. You gotta show as much as possible. This layout is the exact same as this one. I just didn't know how to fill the space. This is like the jankiest sketch ever. This is the color script. Why do I even have this in? But I do like that there's characters interacting with their environment. That's a good thing to see. You know, if I wasn't going for a background position, then I don't really know why I put this in either. But like this and this has no business being there. I'm just trying to fill the space at this point. I guess this page was to show my prop ability, all this stuff. Ah yes, the convenience store scene. I remember the reason I didn't put this as the major, you know, as this big piece is because I did not like the pose of these characters. And if I didn't like those poses, why did I put it in my portfolio? But I do remember my pride and joy. I was so happy with this gumball dispenser. I think it looks so good. I think maybe I could have compiled a few backgrounds onto one page, but like I said, you gotta milk the cow for all it's worth. Here are some background characters. I was obsessed with these straight angles on the legs, and I think that really hindered my designs. Like imagine even just to show, if it was straight and then you have some bulk where the pants go down, that would have indicated a knee bend, which I think was so important. So many of the lines are so parallel. I think that that's what's bothering me about it. This forearm is a lot wider than this forearm. This foot is bigger than this foot. And a huge part of my style was the flatness of the hair, but imagine if little pieces were sticking out just a little bit out of the silhouette. It's still flat, but there's so much more like volume and visual interest in the piece. I would have been unstoppable. Oh my God, what is happening with this hand? What happened to me to think that I could put that hand in here? Ah, yes, another top-down layout. I'm so inconsistent. So many of these things are lineless, like most things. And then this gun right here, lined. Any reason for that, Jackie? Okay, here's another lineup that I did. This is called Redwood High. Whenever I go on Pinterest and I look up character design stuff, I always find this lineup there, or where I was in my artistic journey. I think that this is pretty solid. Like each character, you can tell who their personalities are. Like we have the stoner, bookworm, shy skater, bully, art kid, I guess basketball kid, like a regular, he's got nerdy glasses on, but he's also got a varsity jacket on. So, well, it doesn't have to be a stereotype. He could wear glasses and wear a varsity jacket. They're twins, but they're completely different. I tried to do that within the shape language of the hair and different moles on each of them. And then we got the dream boy guitar player. If I were to go back and redo this, I would definitely indicate a little bit stronger personalities rather than just putting it into their outfits. I'd show it a little bit in their expressions, how they hold themselves, because these two characters are kind of just falling off into the background. Ooh, I finally did it. You know, I have straight legs, but I have a little bit of ruffling on the knee bend to indicate form. Yay! Let's draw the skeleton underneath. So if this is his pelvis, I guess maybe his ribs would keep going. He's got tiny little chunky legs, but for some reason his arms are crazy long. I don't know, that's a tough one. And we finally have our second pose sheet of our character design portfolio. This pose I like. That's a nice one. A lot of the forms are different. Like there's not a lot of consistency in this character's appearance. His model is always changing. And fun fact, this boy was based on my crush when I was in college. And fun fact, he's my fiance now. Got him. Like this is a different head shape than this. Like they're all different. I need to make up my mind to what his jaw looks like. But you know, his personality shines in here. You know, he's doing guitar to show to the girl. I love this hand. Although there's big hot dog fingers, it's so much fun. This is a fun hand. I think she's really cute. We can really tell what her personality is through a lot of these poses. But like I said, her model's not that consistent. I know I was having trouble with lips at this point. Like the way that I would do the lips now show a little bit more form. And I'd also just give her some more structure to her bangs. Like what is this hair doing? Is it going in on itself, or is it like a pompadour, it's going back? It's important for the audience to understand how form and volumes are made and how they work. All in all, more. I want more poses and expressions and characters interacting. Okay, another viz dev piece. You know, it works, it shows the story, it shows composition, it's fun. It's cool and all, but why didn't I expand on it? Why didn't I have her own pose sheet of her at the party? Maybe she's trying to talk to someone and then the next moment is that they're like, do I know you? And it's that reaction shot and then it's her being embarrassed after. Like, why couldn't I have some story moments, showing more of her personality, showing that I know how to act, I know how to pose this character. Ooh. Okay, I thought this was a great story. I thought we had a reverse Pocahontas revenge story. I thought it worked, so I know, okay? I know. So we're almost near the end of this character design portfolio and we got to finally our third pose sheet. Once again, I don't know how to draw lips. What if I drew those lips something like this? Wouldn't that have given me a little bit more structure? There are some poses that I really like. I like this one because I like the secondary action. I know that I really liked this like hold shift, like straight line situation, but there's not enough flow around it. Imagine it looked a little bit more like this with some more breaks. Overall, I think these poses got a lot of potential. Very off model, especially in the face. Like, look how big this head is compared to like this one on her body. But I know what you're thinking, so we're gonna move on. Here's a layout that I did. I don't know, I wasn't a layout artist. I don't know why I put this in. I should have put more character in. I have a prop page. I don't know if this was a necessary page. I remember I just threw it in because I thought probably I should. All of these projects are assignments, by the way. You know, having the fairy in the environment as a silhouette with a little bit of lighting kind of shows that I could put characters in an environment, which is fun, I guess. And then here's one of the last pages. At the time, I thought this was dope because I don't usually put characters in an environment. I don't usually draw much environments, so this was a hit with me. I was like, that's awesome. Imagine this like little cartoony style, but the shadows were so realistic that it looked almost real. I didn't really know how lighting worked at the time. And then at the very end, we have our outro splash page with another character moment. You know what would have been cool if this was like, you know, quote unquote concept work for the Bang Bang Girls, because they look mean and it looks like it works. And then this could have been my splash page with my name and stuff in it, because then I have just like less filler. I feel like a lot of my portfolio was filler because this, you know, shows, you know, lighting, a little bit of interest. Oh my gosh, why was I drawing faces sticking out so much? Why couldn't I do this? Why couldn't I draw faces like this? I was doing the most. Past Jackie, you know, you could have put so much more effort into your exploration of these girls, more poses for these girls, more expressions. These two characters interacting, like they're teammates, they work together, so why can't we show some of the early ideas of their personalities together? Which one's more shy? Which one's more aggressive? And why do they work together? That's what I want to see more of. Overall, out of 10, I'm going to give my 2018 portfolio, well, here's the thing. For the skills that I had, I think I did my best. If someone told me to draw more of this other stuff, would I have listened or would I have said, oh, I don't really want to do that? So the effort perhaps isn't there. I was going to give it, I think, a 6.5, but I'm going to give it a 7. That's a 7 out of 10. That's 70%. That's what, a B plus? I don't know, I'm giving it a 70%, but in my heart, it's also a B plus. So whatever a B plus is, that percentage too. So good work, and I'll see you at next year's review. Okay, so that was me roasting my old portfolio. I don't know how much of a roast that was, or even if that advice was viable. Because I know me, I would not have listened to that. I would have been like, oh, but I just finished it. And I know whenever I give people portfolio advice now, that's usually the reaction that I know they have in their heart. They're like, oh, but it's cleaned and colored. That's why you don't clean and color a lot of your portfolio, because someone tells you to change stuff. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna change stuff. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button and hit that like and comment. If you're interested in getting better at character design, why not join my DOMESTIKA course on the fundamentals of character design? I teach you everything, I teach you most things, and you'll be better for it. Okay, so I'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Bye.